is to the media, to your twisted, immoral society, and your communist government. We hate you all, and we are ready for war. We will always speak up and expose the corruption, the authoritarianism, the tyranny, and the hate.
Truth dispels lies, as light dispels darkness.
From an undisclosed location, deep in an occupied zone, you are listening to Covert Radio.
How you guys doing? This is Covert Radio. And this is brutally honest, fearlessly unapologetic talk radio. We're going to just jump right into it. It's after 5 a.m., going on 6 a.m. on Monday, April the 8th. And, you know, the world could be ending here in hours. You know what I mean? All the hype, all the focus on this. You know, I've been through probably most of us listening have been through the one in 2017. And I just don't remember, you know, this level of hype. I don't. I mean, it's just what is going on. And, you know, people have been asking me, you know, my perception on what's going to happen. And, you know, I always say, like, and at this point, I've been following this stuff for so long, like, anything can happen. And that's just really the truth. If they're ready to pull the next trigger, they will. They've been leading up to this. I'm going to show you a few things because I want to touch two things on this. And I don't have the exact title yet, but it's going to be something like, in case the world does end today, I want to do something nice for Owen Benjamin and the Bears. I want to give them a free reality check. Okay, this is a free one, and you know, it's going to be delivered on a sentence by sentence basis for about, well, probably as long as I can stomach it, which I'm shooting for 7 to 10 minutes of a video that Digital Jonestown had put up recently. And I'm actually working on a much bigger video with Owen and Vox Day. And I was hoping to have that uploaded for you here. But see, the way my brain works is I had a brain injury years ago. I was in a pretty bad car wreck, and the wreck, like people have heard so many times, it literally changed the trajectory of my life, and I thank God for that. But I did have a significant brain injury. I hit the windshield going at about 60, 65, somewhere around in there, and you know, I just see a psychiatrist and things because I had, like, I don't know what it was called then, but, well, I had a few problems, but I remember was specifically seeing this psychiatrist or something, and he was like, best way I could describe this to you, Covert Radio, is I want you to fill a bowl, and he you know, he sized it up probably about as round as, you know, a nice big cereal bowl, and he's like, fill it up with Jell-O, okay, and then, you know, put it in the fridge, let it set up and everything. And then the next day, I want you to take that bowl of Jell-O and I want you to throw it off the wall at 65 miles an hour and watch what happens to the Jell-O. He was like, that's essentially what happened with your brain and your skull. And, you know, kind of like the frontal cortex, frontal lobe, like kind of smashes off your skull and it kind of, you know, wiggles in your skull. So one of the most significant things that has carried with me my whole life is this. I cannot be in a room and Like, say there's 3 conversations going and there's a fourth, somebody looking at me trying to talk to me. I cannot focus on just what they're saying. I hear everything at the same level. So I can't like distinguish. I don't know if it's focus or what it is. It's definitely audible because like, however, though, I've learned to use it to my advantage because I can multitask in a weird way because of it. And I'll give you an example. I'm working on this Vox Deo and Benjamin video, and I'm like, I got to have something to listen to. And I don't really like listening to music because I don't want to open up certain neural pathways in my brain when I'm dealing with Owen or Vox Day. So it's like I want to keep everything compartmentalized as much as possible. And I don't want to listen to something that I'm interested in because then it's like kind of also opening up a little bit of another area in my brain that I don't want Owen or Vox Day to infiltrate. So I figure but I got to listen to something. So I'll just listen to something that is just going to bore me to death. And it was the video by Digital Jonestown that he just uploaded, which was Owen spiraling for 45 minutes and somebody asking for a refund or something. And I've heard a couple clips of it or something recently, and I figured I'll just listen to that background noise. I mean, it's but I hear it at the same level. So I'm working on this Vox Day stuff and Owen stuff, and I hear Owen blabbering in the background, and it just happens like what's happening right now. I physically cannot take it. And I have to correct the record. And I know that, you know, part of me wants to believe he does this just to keep his name valid. And I know he does. He's done content like that to keep, keep people picking up psychotic breadcrumbs to keep his name valid. But then the other part of me is like, because of this whole rebranding thing recently and March Gladness and this and that and how it's not a cult, it's not a hate group, and, you know, blah, 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 blah. I'm also listening with that filter because I think to myself, well, there's a bunch of new people listening. And the way he explains what happened it's infuriating. And if these new people don't know, which Adam Camacho has told me that he's like, they've all been replaced. All the bears have left. All the ones who were intelligent, all the ones who were, you know, good people, like 95% of them left. And I have a theory about that too, but, you know, it's just infuriating. So I'm listening to that. I'm working on the Vox Day video, and I'm also thinking like, so, you know, people have been asking me what's going to happen with the eclipse. So I just want to kill a few birds with one stone. Again, in case the world ends in a few hours, about 6 or 7 hours is when it's going to really, you know, be trucking across the United States. Like I said, I want to do something nice for Owen and the Bears, and I'm going to give them a free reality check. So the question is, first, is the world going to end in a few hours? Who knows? Is life going to end as we know it? It's very possible. You know, again, I don't like to speak stuff like this into existence. I don't like to put that out in the universe. And, you know, but I really do believe that's why they control Hollywood. That's why they control the music industry, because if you can get enough people to believe what reality is going to believe, or a perception of what you want to manifest, it will happen. They control reality, or they control reality for the dumb masses. So if you don't have people like Covert Radio pointing this out, you know, and I'm not saying that there aren't a million of me out there. Well, there aren't a million of me, but there's a million voices that are like, wait, something's off here. But I've not seen too many people put a few things together like this. And this is why it honestly, I can say now, because whatever's going to happen is going to happen. This is what really, really irks me. This is one story that I just picked up here a couple days ago. And this is a ABC affiliate. U.S. intel warns of potential terrorist threat at gatherings after the Moscow attack. Now, We all know ISIS is their little, foot soldiers that they put wherever they need to go, and plausible deniability. They'll get some wacko extremists, some Muslim extremists to activate a couple other low IQ wackos to do what they've did in Moscow. But it's all trickles down from the top, and it's all paid for with black money, heroin money, fentanyl money. So it's like it's untraceable. But people aren't stupid, and like Putin, he's not stupid. And, the game is not really that complex as long as you have enough information. But U.S. intel warns of a potential terrorist threat at gatherings after Moscow. And this whole article talks about the Eclipse and, how many people are going to be gathered and how many people are traveling to, watch the Eclipse. So, there's that aspect of it. And but again, there wasn't too many people that have mentioned this or put it out there. Something like that, I should say. So, they really want people to be out about, gather in the line of totality. And, schools are shutting down, highways are shutting down. And it's just the perfect opportunity. And then, obviously, this demon is always echoing in my head here.
We all know, but still pay insufficient attention to the frightening scenario of a comprehensive cyber attack, which would bring to a complete halt to the power supply, transportation, hospital services, our society as a whole. The COVID-19 crisis would be seen in this respect as a small disturbance in comparison to a major cyber attack. To use the COVID-19 crisis as a timely opportunity to reflect on the lessons the cybersecurity community can draw and improve our preparedness for a potential cyber pandemic.
Yeah, cyber pandemic. Okay. Well, they're ready in their $1 trillion bunkers 50 miles under the ground and enough whatever to control the world for the next probably 10 to 20 years, enough food, enough everything. So they're not worried about the surface. And again, I hearken back to the series on CBS called Jericho. I've told you guys for years to watch Jericho because when it goes down, it is going to go down like that. And it takes a very unique look at what people endure after a nuclear war or a nuclear attack in America. So, and I think it was on Netflix last I looked, but it's called Jericho. Now, this is why this bothers me, because clearly they've been for several months have been, the sun flares, oh, the sun. And then they always back that up with, the power grid, it's so fragile. There's so much pull now because of immigration on the power. And this is true because I live in a blue state. And I live in a city that's becoming a sanctuary city with none of the citizens here everybody's pissed. At first it was like, okay, yeah, they need some, no. We're flooded now. They're on the streets. And I tell people this, if you ever want to know where the immigrants are living, because they'll live like 10 in a house, all you have to do is ride around at night and see which houses that have every single light on. The houses that have every single light on are immigrant houses. They don't pay the electric bill. They don't pay the gas bill. They don't pay rent. They all have newer vehicles, 2020s and up with paper license plates. They drive holding the brake the whole time. It's ridiculous what's happening. And if you don't live in a blue state or live in a sanctuary city, what you're seeing on the news is not a fair realization of what's actually happening. We are literally being overrun. So all these news stories of like, there's so much a strain on the power grid, and it's so much. So there's those stories. The sun. Okay, and then there was, for a moment there, about a few weeks ago, they're like, oh, the Carrington event, which, if you don't know, was a massive sun flare that was, once it hit the earth, it was, it hit America. It literally fried all of the transmission lines, the telephone lines, and the power lines, burned them to a crisp. So if something like that would happen again, it'd be hearkened to an EMP, which would literally destroy everything that's electronic, that's connected to a wall, an outlet, or whatever. But, whatever. Here's what scares me about this monster on the screen and the World Economic Forum. If you look at their logo, can you guys see that? Yeah. Okay, you see their logo there. That's the World Economic Forum. Let me actually just blow that up a little bit. You can see that it's not really well, hold on, let me take it down because you got to see the bottom. It's not really a super complex logo, but let me please tell you, coming from this world of media, that it really does have meaning. This isn't thrown together by a 10th grader. You clearly have the earth. This signifies the earth. And then you see this down here, this fat line. It's not a C, okay? It's definitely not a C. What my opinion is, that is the corona of an eclipse. Corona. And I mean that in every sense of the word, including the, astronomical definition of it, where it's, it's only normally visible during a total solar eclipse. That's the only time a corona is viewable like this. And to have an actual real life image of that. Oh, and you can also see here the 6 and the 6 and the 6. Okay. 6, 6, 6, 6. There's a 6 and there's a 6. So you got that. You have, clearly this is depicting a corona. This is straight off of NASA's own website. This is nasa.gov. 2024 total eclipse, what to expect. So just going to go down here and look at that. Yeah. If you spin that around a little bit, yeah, let's take a look at just the picture there. Yeah, there's the corona from the eclipse. Okay. Yeah, I could have spun this around, but I want to hurry up and get this out to you guys before everything comes crashing in and I don't get to give my good deed to Owen and the Bears. So yeah, there's the corona there, and there's the World Economic Forum, and there's Demon Boy telling you a comprehensive cyber attack that they control. So not only that, I'm thinking to myself, okay, so let's see here. And there's a lot of people that I have seen cover this, where it's like, oh, in 2017, the path of totality and this and that and da-da-da. And then there was like another comparison of like, and then it was like made this anarchy symbol. Mind you guys, that the next full solar eclipse for America is going to be in 2024, okay? I'm sorry, 2044, 20 years from now. 20 years from now, 2044. So for a lot of people, this is the last one you're ever going to see. And with the world climate the way it is today in 2024, with the way technology is today in 2024, artificial intelligence, virtual reality, I want you to look into some of the newer, like Sony's newest version. I think their new PlayStation is all VR. It's like VR 7 or something. And I was watching some of this today, some of these games, and it's like, what is going on? you're driving dirt bikes in the desert. Like, you would never know, say 10 years ago, that this is artificially generated. You would never know. If I would put say, oh yeah, I recorded this in the Redland Desert with my camcorder, my VHS, and you plop it in, and then I would put a little bit of static on this VR rendition, this game, you would never in a million years know that this is not real. This is all computer generated, artificially intelligently generated. It's unreal where VR is going. And I do have a show coming up about that. It's a pet project. It's going to be a couple hours long. It's called Mother Earth Motherboard. But see, I keep adding to it because technology and everything's changing so fast now. But anyway, this is 2017. This path here, you guys can see that. Can you see my mouse moving? Yeah, right there from the northwest down to the southeast. Now, this one in a few hours is going to come from the southwest up to the northeast like this. But you can see there is a definite location here that they meet. X marks the spot there. But I was thinking to myself, like, this one in 2017, that path looked pretty familiar to me. You know what I mean? Uh-oh, where did I see that? Yes, this was the Chinese spy balloon incident in 2023. You guys remember that? Wasn't that long ago. I did a community post. I'll put that in the description. There it is there. I personally think it's a satellite or the space station. I don't believe there are satellites orbiting. It's all helium. I don't believe there's a space station floating around. And if it is, it's floating on a balloon like this. We're not going to get into it, but this was the path of the spy balloon, and the government shot it down right here off the coast of Myrtle Beach. There we go here, 2017. There's the path of the last solar eclipse. 2023, here's the path of the balloon. And I said, when this first happened, I said, the next time there will be an EMP. The next time. And why, if it really was a spy balloon, I said, why would they let that travel all the way across the United States for almost a week? Why? Because they wanted this to be normalized, that this is a possibility. So if or when it does happen, it's, again, plausible deniability. Oh, remember? It was that Chinese spy balloon. See, what's even funnier for me, or more bizarre, I should say, is the actual Wikipedia 2023 Chinese balloon incident. I read this whole thing at some point, but I was perusing it again, and I noticed here it was like, where's it at? Somewhere I highlighted it. Let's see here. Response, reactions. Oh, here it is. NATO. So this was under the category of response and reactions. United States first, then it was Canada, then China. Okay, here's NATO's response to this. Secretary General Jens Stoltenberg said the balloon confirms a pattern of Chinese behavior where we see that China has invested heavily in new capabilities, including different types of surveillance and intelligence platforms, and that it presents a security challenge for the members of the alliance. I laughed when I read China has invested heavily in new capabilities, including different types. A balloon. It's a balloon. I mean, it's a balloon, okay? China makes all the They make all this shit. All of it is compromised. But yet NATO's response to this is, this just confirms China's behavior. They have invested heavily in new capabilities, heavily into helium balloons. It's all a joke. Other high altitude objects. This was all that month. So they had everybody looking up. February 10th, there was another high altitude object that was shot down in the vicinity of Dead Horse, Alaska. The next day, Canadian Prime Minister Justin Trudeau said there was a cylindrical object that was over the Yukon Territory. It was shot down for violating Canadian airspace. The next day, U.S. military shot down a fourth unidentified object. 2 days later, on the 14th, U.S. government announced that the latter three high-altitude objects shot down over North America were likely private entities. What does that mean? 17th, February 17th, the U.S. and Canada suspended the search for the debris of the downed objects. So, 10, 11, 12, 14, 17, the event of this lasted for a week. From January the 28th to February 4th. So for almost 2 months, a month and a half, they wanted everybody looking up. So again, guys, I don't know. You have the corona, you know what I mean? This World Economic logo, this demonic maniac ushering in whatever they're going to do. You have the path of totality here. X marks the spot. Same, almost identical path that the surveillance balloon supposedly went. And if they launch an EMP right here, that's it. And essentially, that's Jericho. That's Jericho, the movie or the show that I told you guys about that you should watch. So, yeah. I'm actually going to stop this here. I'm just going to put this up real quick, and then we're going to jump right into the free reality check that I'm going to give Owen Benjamin here. So I'm going to put this up first. You guys can take a look at that. I don't want to make this too long. But this is Covert Radio, and this is brutally honest, fearlessly unapologetic talk radio. Now, I hope that I will talk to you guys tomorrow or the next day because I have an unbelievable video coming up about Owen Benjamin and Vox Day. You guys take care. Have a good day.